Yeah, that guy have a white baseball.
Slight rumble. I mean, you know, nice exhaust, but very controlled. Let's go for a little ride, shall we? Look at the nice Alpina steering wheel. They've always been super famous. I remember I had an E21 back in the day that I had a really nice leather-wrapped Alpina steering wheel for. They do a really good job. I mean, like, I love this stitched interior. It's really beautiful. This reminds me of what was it? The Mercedes that we had, the Bravas. The Bravas Mercedes, remember? Same kind of interior, the same kind of thing, right? Because what Alpina does is they take a 7 Series and they give it a shot of adrenaline. You know, they give it a little more juice, do up the interior, you know, make the interior look very upscale, very nice. They up the suspension a little bit. So even though this is a very estate car, it's quite brisk. Feel that? Feel that? Brisk, as I would call it. Very brisk. But again, do you hear this, Maya? It's so quiet.
It is really
She's
quiet.
whisper quiet in here. They do, I believe, some stuff with sound deadening as well, potentially. Because while the 7 Series is a very nice car in terms of drivability, it's not as quiet as this. The other interesting thing is, Alpina started in a shop which is basically the same size as our current shop, okay? And just like us, they were souping up BMWs. You know, they would take the 3 Series of the day, and they would do suspension, engine tuning, you know, cams, you know, basically start up the cars. And they would do, like, they had their own signature, like the Alpina wheels. The Alpina, I call them a bazillion spoke wheels, but they're, I don't know how many spokes there are, but those are distinct to Alpina, right? And they had aero pieces for the 3 and the 5 Series back in the day. So they just did that for many, many years until BMW noticed them and said, hey, we'd like you to spice up some of our cars. That's why you can buy an Alpina B7 now at the dealership. It's no longer days of past where you would buy the 7 Series or the 5 or 3, whatever, send it to Alpina, let them do their magic on it, and then you'd go pick up your car. Now with at least a 7, you can buy it from a dealership. I personally have driven a Alpina B5, like a E28 5 Series that was spiced up. If you remember, the E28 M5 was the first M5 that BMW put out. Well, Alpina put out their version of a spicy 5 Series back in the day. Kind of a really nice car, like, and it had graphics on the side too, like Alpina racing stripes and everything. It's kind of a super cool looking car. I've also driven a 3 Series that was done up by Alpina, an E30. That was kind of cool. Again, not a rocket ship, but the car was more spicy than the regular 3 Series, you know? Almost like a non-MM3. That sounds right, you know? They took the regular 3 Series, you know, with the M20 motor, and they spiced it up. They were always fun to drive, the cars. They were hard to get in the US because they really weren't officially imported into the US. I believe you can get them as gray market cars today. I've had some friends import them in the past, and that's why I've been lucky enough to drive a couple of them. Like I said, just very nice cars. Feel that. Like, it has much less body roll than a comparable 7 Series. But it's not harsh. That's the beauty of Alpina as well, people, is that their mantra was not harsh. They weren't building a race car. Hang on one second. Alpina's mandate wasn't to build a race car for the street. Like everyone talks about the S14, the E30 M3 and the S14 motor. You know, that was, you know, pseudo race car for the street. It's harsh, it vibrates like crazy. You know, it's not a comfortable car to drive. Where Alpina's mantra was, we're going to take BMWs and we're going to up the spiciness of them. We're not going to necessarily change the personality of the car. We're going to amp up the way the car functions, right? We're going to give it a little more testosterone. a little more juice, a little more handling, a little more style, right? That was Alpina. Look at this. Boom, baby. You put the pedal down and you're rocketing. Whoop. And we're gonna pull over here. Take the back way back to the shop. Oh, come on, go, 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 get out of the way. Feel how this car goes around the corner. Look at that. For a car this size, it should not move like this. Look at that. I mean, brilliant. This is a gentleman's sports car. And the fellow who owns this particular Alpina, the fellow who owns this particular Alpina is a true gentleman. And this was a retirement gift to himself, which booyah for him. I'm super happy for him. This is an absolutely lovely car to drive around in. I hope he gets a lot of happy and fun miles on this toy, because it is a toy car, you know? Oh, look at that.
You can change the camera view out.
That's pretty cool, huh? You gotta love electronic toys. This reminds me, we had a Bentley in the shop some time back, and the same kind of interior. You know, this cross-stitching interior. It's really lovely. It really gives the car a nice upscale feel to it. You know, so is everything else in this car, like the lighting, you know, the ambient lighting that they put in, the speaker system. I mean, everything in this car screams at you, I am an upscale vehicle. Enjoy the drive. Yes. Yes, quite. As I thrash you, most definitively thrash you off the line, I shall still be sipping on my wine.
You don't drink!
No, I don't drink.
But your alter ego does?
Yes, quite. The man who drives the Alpina B7 does. At the club, yes, and we must go to the golf club, you see.
You don't play golf or drinks.
I don't, actually, thank God.
Leather stitching will do this to you.
The leather that they used, it's very nice. Like, again, everything on this car screams I'm an upscale vehicle. I love the double moonroof. It's cool, huh? See the pattern they have on the moonroof? All right, enough of this. See how quickly this car moves, Maya?
Yes.
She's quite brisk. So nice, even over bumps. The suspension, and this is why you spend money in suspension. Because not only is it crisp when you want to be crisp, it's compliant when you want to be compliant. When you're going over uneven surfaces, the car just does what it's got to do. You know, it doesn't destroy your teeth or you know, your kidneys or whatever. It just does what it's got to do. You know, and this is why people ask, oh, why does good suspension cost so much? Well, this is why. You know, when manufacturers cut corners on dampers, they pay the price, because the valving is not nearly as responsive as it needs to be to make the car crisp yet comfortable. And I think that's lacking a lot of off-the-shelf dampers have that come from the factory. Is that, of course, you know, they're playing to a bean counter, right? They're playing to a number. You know, the engineer doesn't have limitless funds. And that's nice about the aftermarket, is that if you want your car to handle super, super well and be comfortable, you can have that. It's going to cost you, but you can absolutely have that. It's really, to me, it's really, really amazing. The shifting, look. See right now, see it says D1 on the dashboard? That's because the transmission's in automatic mode. The back here, if you look over here, there's buttons that say plus and minus on the top and the back here. So what I can do is, I can do that, and notice how it says manual too. So we're in second gear. It'll hold second gear for a moment. Now if I downshift, see, manual 5, manual 4, I'm downshifting with the buttons on the back of the steering wheel. Third gear now, see the revs go up? Fourth gear. Here comes the rain again. So you can have fun with this car, even though it's an automatic transmission. And now, as I make the corner, look, I'm going to brake, go to second gear, nice and gentle. Look at that, smooth as pie. Look, it's a BMW Android tablet. I gotta love Alpina. Look at that. So connected drive. Oh, look. Connected vehicle. Talk about excess. You can control interior lighting. You can control the sun protection visors. You can control the seats. These are tilt seats. We've got comfort position. Look, you can tilt the seat all the way back. You can save the position. There's probably, yep, look. Pelvic activation. I'm not going to comment about that. Upper body activation, whole body activation, back massage. I mean, that's super cool. What's this? Wait. BMW Vitality Program. I have no idea what that's about. If you press this eject button, look what happens. Look at that. That's kind of cool, isn't it? It's got a tablet built into it. Crazy car.